Hi everyone, I am excited to be back doing another picture from this page with a colour cube card. As per usual, I don't know which card is going to come out of the box, so it's really exciting. And let's have a look. I've got my wrist warmers on today. It's actually snowing. It's quite chilly. Well, I'm warm in my body, but my hands are chilly, so I thought I'd pop them on. Let's have a little look. So we have got a very pretty misty autumnal type picture with sort of orangey browns and green. Let's have a little look. I immediately look at that and think that it would work with our trees and our sort of gardening type feature with our terracotta pots. I think that's going to be the one. But let's just have a little look. This kitchen one doesn't need any green in it because it's got no plants. Wow, big snowflakes. So I sort of would leave that one in case we get one without green. Again, officey, I'm thinking I quite like some blacks or greys for the chair, but maybe I would want to make it more colourful. This one again, lots of bright colours I think for the flowers, so I'm going to pick this one. Okay, let's just move the cube back a little and grab, oh, I've just knocked a piece of paper on the floor. Never mind, we don't need it for this video. Oh, I'm just getting out my pencils, which I haven't opened. So I'm going to turn the card over because it helps me a little bit more with picking colours. So we've got terracotta here to start with. So hang on, let's pull the pencils over to help us. You can see me choosing. So we've obviously got a terracotta here, which is sort of spot on pretty much. But I'm thinking if we go lighter and darker as well, maybe should we go to the cinnamon? We've got the sanguine, we've got the burnt ochre. I'm thinking the burnt ochre is quite a nice one. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, let's just check. And maybe I'm thinking we could perhaps use the burnt sienna for a darker one. I think I'm going to do that. I might not use them all as per usual. Let's put those to the side. Now we've got what's called burgundy. Now I'm thinking these are more sort of caput mortuum type colours. Let's go down here. So we've got, this is caput mortuum here. It's a sort of purpley brown almost. And I'm thinking, maybe this is caput mortuum violet, which is quite similar. That's an Indian red. I don't think that's quite going to work. Maybe just those two. Maybe. We've got a chestnut. That for me is quite similar to the burnt sienna that I grabbed. But let's grab a few other browns. We could go with a sort of walnut for this dark one. Really got anything like that. Again, it sort of overlaps with the caput mortuum really, but I quite like something a little bit lighter, although we're moving into taupe in a minute. I'm looking at sort of Van Dyke brown. Oops. Oh, sorry, that was not a nice noise. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to go for the Van Dyke brown. I think that's going to sort of work. And here we have taupe. Now, if you have my Prismas, this would be your French greys, really, I think, but we don't. So I'm going to go for a more grey colour. I'm thinking maybe this, the warm grey 5 might look a bit like this, but these are quite different to the greys. I think I might grab the warm grey 2 as well. Oops. But I'm really tempted to go for this. Where is it? Yeah. The sort of nougat colour as well. That's what I'm going to pick. I'm not normally that fussed about making them really exact. And now we've got our greens. And this is sort of artichoke. And I'm looking at these colours. I'm thinking, is it this sort of earth green? And the juniper green maybe? And then maybe this one. This is the chromium green opaque. I'm thinking those three look about right. So that's what we're going for. Okay. So in our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've only got 13, not 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. We've only got 13, not 15. But I think would do. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. But I think that'll work fine. Now remember, when you're using your colour cubes cards, there's no rules. You can grab a black and a white if you want to go with what you're doing. You don't have to just stick with the exact colours on the card. You can miss some out, add some in, you know, it's fine. But I've just done what I feel comfortable with. Okay, so here is our jar. This is our gardening jar, I think, and I think I'm just going to start with the greens because I know what's going to be green. I can see them there, the trees, the leaves and that sort of thing, so I'm just going to start there. So I've got my this is earth green. Okay. I nearly ended up on the floor. And I'm going to do this plant here with this one, I think. Now you're going to need quite sharp pencils. It's quite small, as they all are on this page. I keep looking out at the snow. I'm sorry, a bit distracted. It's so pretty. It's not settling, no. Got up, it was due to start at 2. I woke up at 10 to 2, no snow. Woke up at 4, peeped out, because, you know, normally I wouldn't wake up and peep out. I'm excited. Snow. Peeped out at 4, it was snowing and the cars had a little bit of snow settling on them, but not, the ground was really wet. When I got up, it was about 6, I guess. I'm just trying to find somewhere to put this pencil. Right, I'm going to use the juniper green next, and I think I'm going to use it for this little teeny plant. Yeah, so when I looked out at 6, again, it was thicker on the cars, but not on the ground. And then, as we were up and having breakfast, after breakfast, it had started snowing really heavily and settling on the ground. I was like, whee! This is exciting. I can go out for a snowy walk. And on the trees as well, really pretty. But by the time, within about half an hour, it all melted. It was even melting off the cars by 9 o'clock. Oh, this is really disappointing. Chromium green opaque. So so there was no disruption. We had a message from college saying it was open as usual. None of the staff had trouble getting in, because I hadn't planned my day. I'll tell you about planning my day in a minute. I hadn't planned my day because I knew I'd need to be flexible because the children might be home. So I just thought I'd stay chilled and not think about what I'm going to be doing, and in case they're here, because that might change what I'm doing. So but no, there one of my boys said, oh, last time it was snowing, our maths teacher struggled to get in, so he might be snowed in, and that sort of thing. So I said, make sure you check all your emails and things like that, just to make sure no one's telling you not to go in. Now I'm doing this in sort of splodgy, darker and lighter areas. I think it looks quite fun because it makes it look a bit more bushy. So that's, but no, nothing. College was open. Yeah, planning my day. I'll talk to you in a minute. I want some soil colour for that. I think that's a bag of compost. And I'm going to use my darkest brown that I picked out, which was the walnut brown. I'm going to use that next. Yeah, what I do is in the morning when I wake up, my alarm goes off at 6. I'm usually awake a bit before. I'm just trying to work out what that is, but I'm just going to ignore it really and colour it brown. So yeah, before I get up, I tend to plan what I want to achieve in my day, just in my head. I can sometimes write a to-do list, not at that time of the morning, but some mornings I do that, other times I don't. It's not always very necessary because I'm at home and working for myself, and I also like to be a little bit flexible. Anyway, so I'm gonna grab my warm grey 5, sharpen it. But I think about what I want to achieve, and I find I achieve it then. If I don't plan my day, I sometimes end up faffing about doing nothing. I'm going to do the silver. Now, I don't normally use a warm grey for a silver. I would normally use a cold grey, but I'm going to have a go. I feel like this is a silver scoop, like a trowel, a metal trowel. So I'm going to leave a bit of white for shine and hope it just works. I think it's because it's not really the right colour. I think it's going to work. And the watering can. So I find that really, really helps me. I try and get my son to do it, but he's not very, he over plans and then gets stressed because he can't achieve it and thinks it's a waste of time. Now I tend to think about exactly what I want to do. So today I know I want to record 2 videos, which is very manageable. More than 2 can sometimes be tricky. So I also wanted to, let's leave a little bit of white so it looks shiny. And I'm going to do this on the glass to make it look like it's reflecting light. I'm wondering about that door frame. I shall leave that for now. The walnut brown that we use for the soil, I'm going to use in here. I'm thinking maybe that's soil as well, like compost or something like that. So what I tend to do is I plan things that I definitely know I can achieve, and then maybe put a few things at the bottom that, I'm sorry, just got to blow my nose, that maybe I may or may not be able to achieve depending on how busy I get, and that helps me a little bit too. So I sort of have a realistic and then a less realistic expectation. Right, stones. Oops, I'm going to try warm grey too. It might be a little bit too pale, but I'm going to give it a go. Oops, not my sharpener over. That's a good start. So as I said, I set out to, I always do certain jobs every day, so I don't need to add those to my list because I know what they are. So I always get up, make lunch boxes on a weekday, set out the breakfast things, see if the dishwasher needs unstacking, decide if washing needs doing, you know, all those exciting fun jobs that we all do. And then I always then have a look at, after breakfast, one of my videos would have gone live on YouTube. There's one that goes out at 7:15 my time every morning. So I have a look at that and I let people know it's available. So pop details on my Facebook page, Instagram, Reddit, Pinterest. Phew, yeah, on all of those to let people know. I also have a little skim through Instagram and look at the pictures. I sometimes do this in bed before I get up, actually, if I'm awake early. Skim through, look at the pictures people have posted, have a bit of fun, enjoy looking at what people have done. Tree trunk. Let's go Van Dyke brown for our tree trunk. And do that. Yeah, and then also, like, if I plan to make 2 videos in a day, I might decide that I'm going to edit them and put them up on YouTube. That bit can take as long as making the video. It doesn't take long, as in, it's hard to describe. I have to take the video off the camera and put it on my computer. It takes seconds to set up, but then I have to sit and wait for it. I'm going to use terracotta for all the pots, all of them. And I'm going to use the same method. So darker here, lighter towards the middle on all of them. Not too much shine because terracotta pots haven't got a shiny glaze, but we still want them a little bit lighter in the middle like that, so that the pots look a little bit more rounded, because all of them are going to be rounded, none of them are going to be flat. So yeah, so I wait for that to happen, and I can usually grab a bit of colouring while I'm waiting, which is nice. Or do some other computery stuff like check my emails and chat to my kids on Discord. And then once it's on my computer, I then have to sort of edit it. I say edit, I don't really edit it. I just stick a photo at the end and check that it looks okay, and have to sort of stick bits together if I've had to pause it. But that's easy. My editing software is really basic. I can do that. And then I have to export it. And that export takes a really long time. It usually takes longer than the video, and weirdly, I don't know if it's just my software, the longer the video, the more disproportionate the export time. So a really short video can actually be exported quicker than it took me to film it. So, you know, say a 20-minute video can be done in 10 minutes, let's say. Sometimes it can take ages, and I think it can depend on what else I'm doing on my computer, because obviously that drains the, I want to say RAM. I'm going to pretend that's right, I have no idea. Anyway, so that but if I have, say, a members only video, which are compilations, they can be, I did one the other day, it was 7 hours long, and yeah, 7 hours, and that took 20 hours to export. It's like bonkers. Left my computer on overnight. I didn't just sit there and watch it. That would be insane. I'm going to use the nougat now for the this bag. I think it looks a bit like it could be a sack. I mean, compost normally comes in a brightly coloured plastic bag with all sorts of yellow and red brash markings on it, but it's not really going to, firstly we don't have those colours, and secondly it's not going to work with our nice calm warm colour scheme. So we're just going to colour. Now I'm going to make it a little bit dark on the edges, just to try and add a bit of shape to our bag. It would be probably rounded, and also under here I'm thinking, because it's got like this little rim, we can put a bit of colour under there and some shadow from the pots and things. I haven't done much with shadow yet around here. I'm going to do some in a minute. Now our table, now we haven't used a few colours now, and so the caput mortuum type family of colours we haven't used, so they're going to be our background. I've grabbed my burnt ochre. That's going to be these. I think these are lights, but we don't have a yellow, so we're just going to use this. I'm going to try and make them a little bit lighter in the middle, as if they're bright. I've got a bit of orange pencil there, which is bugging me. Just there. I think I dropped my orange pencil when I was doing, doesn't want to come off, never mind. When I was doing my smoothie jar, and it's obviously just written on the page, and it's, if you drop your pencil, like that, if it's sharp, it really pushes right down into the paper. So I'm sure it will, I'm sure it'll be fine. So just around the edge like that, and just try and do a lighter layer in the middle. Don't worry if you can't, it's not the end of the world. They're quite small. Now, what I want to do is, let's do this wood next. We're going to reuse one of the colours we've used already. I think we'll use a slightly lighter brown. What do we use the nougat for? I don't remember. We'll use that now on this. As I'm thinking this is wood, isn't it? We just do a light, well actually sort of medium layer across all of it. Like that, and then we think a little bit, I quite like it being a little bit darker on the edges. I don't know why. And under our pots a bit. There. Yeah, that's okay. Our door, to make our door wooden, I think it'll tie in. In fact, it might hide it. Of course, this is one of Johanna's hidden doors. Did we find a key yet? No. Oh, I found it. It's not on one of the pictures we've done yet. It's quite fun. Okay, so there's our door. I'm just making that bottom bit the same colour. I think it's easier. Now I'm going to grab our darkest colour, I think, is the walnut brown. I'm going to just give it a sharp and get it really sharp, and we're going to do a little bit of shadows, nothing too difficult. So let's start here. I'm thinking under here, this rim might be a shadow, just put a bit of a line like that, really easy. And then here, so basically just extending Johanna's lines where things are overlapping like that. We haven't got anything here, look. And here, I think we did a bit here, but would do a bit more so it shows up a bit more. And here, oh, I'm so hungry. I'm always hungry, aren't I? What's going on about being hungry? It must be really boring. Now, we haven't done the outline of the door. I'm thinking I might like to do that in the warm grey 5. It's sort of metallic door frame, maybe. I don't know why. So we'll go on the corners, dark on the corners, leave a bit of shine. There we go. Yeah, my fingers are warming up now, which is nice. So caput mortuum for our background. I'm going to pick my lightest shade, which is just the caput mortuum, because I may use the violet for, I'm not sure yet. Let's have a think. So I've sharpened it, which I probably didn't really need to do. So here it is, and I don't want to be it really dark, but we've got fairly dark backgrounds. I think what I'm going to do is just lay it down. I do want it darker on the edges, so perhaps I will just do that now. Now here, look, we've got like the ground, so I'm only going to go to there with this colour, and I'm going to do something different for the floor. Okay, I think that might make sense. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the floor yet, but as I say, something a bit different. So this is going to be my darkest bit. I don't want it to be really dark and overpowering, but on the very edge it can be a bit darker. So remember, we want to try and show up our shine like we did on the other jars, if you watched the other videos. If you didn't, why not? You'll find them on my channel if you want to go back and have a little look. So there we go. I'm just watching every month YouTube creators get an email from YouTube saying, oh, learn about how to do things better on your channel, which is fair enough, and sometimes they're really, really useful. And I was reading today about thumbnails and titles, and then I watched a video about myths, common myths on YouTube, you know, things that lose you or don't work for you, might not work, and that sort of thing. It was quite interesting, but it was yeah, I mean, and it talked about different ways of monetizing, different ways of getting more viewers and things like that. But I'm actually suddenly got really bright. Did my lamp do something weird? I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracted. But I was quite happy that I hadn't been sucked into any of these myths about, oh, you have to put your channel out at a certain time, or else your videos out at a certain time, or you'll never go viral. I'm not going to go viral because I'm in such a niche area that millions of people aren't all suddenly going to want to watch me colouring a jar. But that's okay. Oh, look at that. I'm not. It's not my desire to have a million, trillion, zillion people watch a video. That's not why I started. But obviously, some people, that's what they want. And yeah. Anyway, it had some interesting things about not putting too much text on your thumbnails, which is probably something that I do. I probably put too much on, but I want to inform people, but then my title does. So I'm going to have a little bit of think about that, about maybe changing some of my thumbnails around a bit. I sometimes I'm not a designer, and I feel like because I do something that's in creative, in quotes, that there's pressure to make really good thumbnails, and it's just not my thing. But I've got a niece who's an artist, and she does digital art, and I think she would be amazing at it. But I'm going to have a chat with her sometime about it. If it's something that it might not be something she's interested in doing, but you never know. But anyway, we'll see. But I've got a bit of software that I use, which makes it easier and quicker for me, which is good, because I just get bored. I don't know if I don't think I've got a poor attention span. I don't get bored of colouring things. I just get bored of things that are boring. Anyways, I feel that the floor could be in the caput mortuum violet. I don't know how different this colour is. This is my only thing, but I'm going to have a go. I'm actually going to put it down harder so that it looks different. It's very blunt. Just changed the blade in this sharpener, it's lovely. It's sharpening like a dream. Although I broke a few pencils in it the other day. But hey ho, I think they were already on the verge of breaking. You know, sometimes you just know. So fade it towards the middle like we have with our background. Like that. I'll keep it down there. I think it looks significantly different. Just tidy up a bit. And then we need to do this top. It's looking quite dark now, which wasn't really my intention, but I guess when you use a dark colour for a background, that's what you get. So I'm thinking, can we go lighter up here? And I think we definitely can. We haven't used our burnt sienna yet, and I'm thinking I might just use that for the bow, and then we've used all the colours. So for this, darker here, and lighten it into the same place as we've got light here, because our light's falling. I always do that, you know me. Well, if you've watched much before, I always make it easy on myself and put the light in the middle. There we go. And oh, like that. Like that. Yeah. And then I'm thinking I might use this burnt ochre that we used for the lights. I might use this for the top. It's a little bit paler and brighter. I think it might just lighten the whole picture a little bit, which is what I'd quite like to do. So I'm not going to use it too hard, just quite a medium pressure. Especially as I will come back and darken some bits at the end. So I'm just going to get a layer down, I think. A nice light gentle layer. Oh, the heating will be back on soon. I'm feeling a bit chilly. I'm feeling, it's only my fingers, as I say, they are feeling better now. I'm filming and colouring. I've got a really warm t-shirt on, which is, it's sort of really tight, strange material, and it clings to my body, which means that it holds the heat in really well. I often find it a bit uncomfortable, but today it's ideal for this sort of cold, snowy weather. And so that's good. But I haven't, I could put my heating back on, but I feel we can afford the heating. It's not a problem. I know gas and electric got very expensive, and I know people are struggling, but we're very fortunate that we can afford to pay. But I sort of am aware that if we all use a little bit less and demand falls, then that might help prices to fall a little bit too. You never know. So I don't want to overuse it, you know, and also we need to think about the environment as well. If I can be comfortable with a sweater on and some wrist warmers, then why not just do that, you know? And I am, so that's good. Right, so I made it darker in here and here where I feel it would be shadowed. Now I'm looking at this pattern here, look, I think it would be sort of darker in here, a little bit where it's sort of dipped in, like that. And I'm just going to grab my darkest brown again. What did we use? We used the walnut brown, didn't we, to do a few shadows. I'm just going to do a few shadows. I'm thinking in here maybe. Again, I'm going to leave it to fade under there. I'm not sure if it will show up that well because the colour is quite similar. I still want to put some in. And like under here. Would there be shadow on glass? I don't know. I think there'd be a bit under those sort of loopy bits. Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm happy. And now I'm going to grab my white like we have done. So this is white Posca. Oh, there we go. And I'm thinking glass here. Put a bit more in. And on this edge, whoops, a bit wibbly. Try and follow the line of the glass, not like I did there. I want to put a bit here too. And on these lights, I don't know why I've chosen to put them on that side. But there we go. And a bit more around like that. Sort of follow the curve until you get to the middle and put a few straight lines. There we go. I just want to lighten it a bit, which is why I've put a few extra lines on it. So yeah, so let's grab our card so we can see. So that was our colour card that we used. You can see all the colours now. There we are. And that's what I did. So yeah, we've kept that sort of warmth, I think. And we haven't really used much green, but I think maybe I could have done green for the bow. I think that might have been a better idea, actually, looking at it now. Or maybe green for the door as well. But then I like to hide the door, because I like it to be, you know, you're supposed to be hunting for it, so I quite like to hide it. So that's okay, actually. But yeah, maybe green for the bow or the top of the bottle. I don't know. But anyway, I'm still pleased with it. I think it was rather fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. I'm really enjoying these. It's lovely having a little surprise and having to just go and colour and, you know, use the colours that are there on the card. I mean, when I'm doing this on my own, I actually pick a picture first, grab a card and go for it, whereas I made it a little bit easier for myself by not picking my picture first. But by the time we get to our last one, we're just going to have to go. And those of you who have got the colour cubes, you will be able to look through and see what the next ones are going to be. So you might go, oh, she'll be doing that one next. I wonder which picture she's going to do. You could always, you know, look up colour card 70, this is 69, and try and guess which picture I'm going to do with number 70. Be interesting, won't it? Anyway, I'm going to go. Have a really lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.